Last of the divisional playoffs at the LA Coliseum, the largest crowd this season in the NFL, 92,045. Well, in the same park a month ago, the Raiders clinched their first playoff berth in 5 years when they beat the Bengals 24-7. Today, the Raiders knew a win over the Bengals would clinch them a berth in the AFC Championship game. Haven't been that far since '83. Anthony Munoz, Bruce Reimers on the bench for the Bengals. Kirk Scrappert starting for Munoz. His task to face Greg Townsend. On the first play of the game, Boomer Esiason and company had an idea what it would be like without a pair of starting linemen. 2 plays later, he was reminded as Howie Long sacked him. So already they're in trouble.
Yeah, and Howie Long here by Paul Jetton. That's Bruce Reimer's replacement. They didn't do very well today.
Raiders on 4th and 1. Marcus Allen, the go-to guy all day, picks up the first down. Later on 4th and 1, instead of a 40-yard field goal, Solomon Wilcots makes the defensive play, and the Raiders' gambling does not pay off. Bo Jackson's first playoff opportunity. Runs right, hit by the rookie James Francis. It's a fumble! But they say no, the whistle was blown amazingly.
And, Chris, it is clearly a fumble, and this is why we wonder about instant replay sometimes.
James Brooks. So that one didn't work. James Brooks didn't start. Dislocated thumb, had the flu, but you had a feeling he would be out there. And in the first quarter, Brooks trying to get him out of the shadow of their own goalpost. On 3rd down, Boomer Esiason. Who cares if he doesn't have a thumb? This guy's great. 21-yard gain. Get that bench out of here. Next, to the Pro Bowl tight end Rodney Holman. Get that Raider out of here. It's 40-yard pickup on the last play of the first quarter. In the second quarter on the same drive, JB leaping, hitting for 5. And then they brought Jim into the breach for a 27-yard field goal, and it's 3-0 Bengals. Bo Jackson, 9-yard run. A couple plays later, Bo knows double-digit runs. This one goes 18 yards. So give Bo a breather, send in Marcus. Oh, we'll go right. Smith with the block for 19 yards.
Here you see Marcus Allen get outside. Ethan Horton teaming up with Smith for those good blocks. And this is something they did all day and did well.
On 3rd and 9 on the same drive, Schrader guns it to Swervin Mervin Fernandez. It's a 13-yard touchdown, and the Raiders lead at 7-3 at the half. Much more low scoring than we had thought. Second half, Raiders still rushing the football. Bo is going to run for his number. Looking to make the move on Fulcher right there. And then he runs for 34 yards. Bo injured his hip on the play. Had to be helped off, so 6 carries, 77 yards. But the Raiders still driving without Bo. Schrader in and out of Allen's hands, and maybe Fulcher saved the day at this point. But no, he fumbles, but Eric Thomas recovers and saves the turnover opportunity for Cincinnati. Third quarter with a score 10-3 Raiders. The Ixter, Icky Woods, bashes for 10 yards. Move it early 4th. The Ixter for 6 yards. On 2nd and goal, watch a play made by a man that was let go as a Plan B free agent by the Patriots last year. Now he's playing in the playoffs. Tom Benson with a shot on Brooks. 3rd and goal. Townsend is in alone, but Boomer shows he can move. He throws it to Stanford Jennings at the touchdown, and we are tied at 10. Could the Los Angeles Raiders at home bounce back? 3rd and 20 in their own end zone. Schrader to Tim Brown. The youngster turns it into a 26-yard gain. 3 plays later, Schrader to the man that started the year, the number 2 tight end. They didn't even know if he could play the position. Ethan Horton beats Leon White. It's a touchdown. The Raiders regain, boom, the lead, 17-10. Raiders trying to run out the clock. Who better to do it than Marcus? Look at him slash, look at him dish tacklers, look at him move, look at him dive for 18 yards. Marcus Allen, 21 carries, 140 yards. Raiders had a field goal in the final minute by Nick Jager. And they beat the Cincinnati Bengals in an exciting football game by the count of 20-10. Bo Jackson, described as a hip pointer, described later as a strained left hip. But Bo says he will go next Sunday as the Raiders play in little cooler climes, but they're still going. They're one of the final 4. They go to the Buffalo Bills. We'll be back to talk more about both the Bears and the Giants. It's a 100-yard game today. Marcus Allen has now done it 5 times in the postseason. That ties Franco Harris as the second most ever. Only John Riggins' 6 100-yard games in the playoffs are more in NFL history. The LA Coliseum. You saw on the very first play from scrimmage what the Raider defense can do. It was Greg Townsend that went in and sacked Boomer Esiason. After the game, he said it was important for the defense to take charge.
We just knew somebody had to come set the tempo, and I kind of mentioned to the guys last night that I'm going to turn the sucker out today. And they're just fortunate that they didn't roll our way today, and they put up a good fight.
I'll tell you what, both our guys ran extremely hard. Anytime you can turn around and give those 2 guys the football, you're starting with a pretty good offense right there. And I'll tell you what, they both came ready to play. They both ran extremely hard.
Well, without Bo in there doing the things that he does best, everybody realized we had to pick it up a notch. You know, Marcus Allen came in and did a great job. You know, he's one of the best backs I've ever seen in my life. You know, he's just incredible.
Well, we're not worried about Tampa. We got next week. We're going to take this thing one step at a time. We got through this one. That's what we wanted to get through. Now we're going to get ready to play next week.
They'll be ready to play next week, and they're certainly ready to run, aren't they, Tom?
Yes, they are. You know, and when you look at Jay Schrader, I see a guy gaining confidence. The reason he's gaining confidence is because even when things aren't going just right with that passing game, he can always fall back on the run. Today, 235 yards running the football, 7+ yards per carry, and Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, not a bad pair to have behind you.
And it's not too bad to have Max Montoya leading those trap blocks the way he did today. Max was one of the few mistakes Paul Brown and his son Mike, the general manager, have made with the Bengals. But they put him on Plan B. They thought he was too expensive for anybody to pick up. Nobody's too expensive for Al Davis. That was one project. Another project, Ethan Horton, a famous flop. First-round draft choice for Kansas City as a running back. Everybody gave up on him. Davis said, let's take him. We'll make him into a tight end. I don't care if he can't block. He'll run some patterns. He ran one today.
He certainly did run one today, and the Bengals end what has been one of the wildest roller coaster rides that any team can remember. Hey, they got into the second round of the playoffs, but the train stops here. It's the Raiders that take the train to Buffalo next week. As far as the Bengals go, their 10 wins this year, they averaged 153 yards. They averaged giving up 87 yards rushing. When they lose the 8 times, they average giving up a ton, 235 today.
Smart. Very smart.
So the matchups are set for a championship weekend. We begin next Sunday in the AFC with the Raiders going to Buffalo Week 5. They were there on Nitro, and they lost 38-24 on some wild plays by the Bills in the fourth quarter. They didn't have Bo Jackson, and they hope to have Bo Jackson back. The NFC title game. We saw this